Attention passionate Las Vegas Raiders fans. Latest news: something big is happening in the AFC West, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Las Vegas Raiders' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Las Vegas Raiders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Las Vegas Raiders fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape, especially the AFC West, you know that this offseason has been nothing short of transformative for the Las Vegas Raiders. The team, under the leadership of new general manager John Spidek and head coach Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll has been making strategic moves, aiming to not only contend this year but to build a foundation for sustained success. And let me tell you, the vibe around the Raiders is electric. Fans are buzzing about the potential changes, the new faces, and the aggressive approach to reshaping their roster. But as always, even with these positive moves, there are still some glaring gaps, especially on defense, that the Raiders are eyeing to fix. The secondary, in particular, has been a point of concern. Sure, there's some talent there, but overall, it's a bit unproven, a bit inexperienced, and desperately in need of some veteran leadership to stabilize and elevate the unit. The cornerback position stands out as a crucial area where the Raiders could really make a splash. They've got some young, promising players like Jacorian Bennett, Decamerion Richardson, and Darian Porter, but to truly contend and to give their pass defense a serious boost, they need someone with experience, with leadership, who can raise the floor of the entire secondary. And here's where things start to get really interesting. The Raiders have not only been active in free agency, but are also sitting on a treasure trove of cap space, more than $36 million, to be precise, and they expected to have several compensatory picks coming next year. That kind of financial flexibility and draft capital opens up a world of possibilities. It allows them to be aggressive, especially after the June 1st deadline, when some of these veteran contracts and cap hits are more manageable. So, the possibility of bringing in a top-tier cornerback isn't just a pipe dream. It's a real, tangible option. One name that's been floating around in NFL circles, one that could make all the difference, is Stephon Gilmore. Yes, the same Stephon Gilmore who won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award back in 2019. Now, he's not quite the same player he was at his peak, but let us be honest, Gilmore still has plenty to offer. He's a veteran presence, a leader, and someone who can step right into the lineup and produce. Right now, he's a free agent, and the projections show his market value at only around $5.3 million. That's a steal for a player of his caliber. Bringing Gilmore into the fold could be an absolute game changer for the Raiders' secondary, especially considering his leadership qualities and his ability to mentor the younger corners like Jacorian Bennett, Decamerion Richardson, and Darian Porter. Even if he takes a step back next season, his experience and football IQ would be invaluable. But Gilmore isn't the only name on the radar. Mike Hilton is another player who could really help shore up the Raiders' defense. Hilton, still at the top of his game, is a top-tier slot corner. Last year, he ranked 24th among 222 qualifying cornerbacks per Pro Football Focus, which is impressive considering the importance of the slot position in today's NFL. The Raiders' current slot corner, Darnay Holmes, has shown flashes, and they've also got Mello Dotson, an undrafted free agent from Kansas, who's highly touted. But Hilton would be a guaranteed starter, adding experience, durability, and a proven track record. His market value is around $12.3 million, which could be a sticking point, especially since the Raiders have been hesitant to commit big money to Nate Hobbs, who commands around $12 million per year. Still, Hilton's reliability and skill set could be well worth the investment. And then, there's the elephant in the room, Jalen Ramsey. Everyone in NFL circles knows that Ramsey is on the trade block, and it's just a matter of when and where he ends up. Now, acquiring Ramsey would be a massive boost for the Raiders' secondary. Not only is he one of the best veteran cornerbacks in the league, but his leadership and playmaking ability are unmatched. The problem? The financial commitment. Ramsey's cap hits over the next few seasons are significant: $25 million, $26.8 million, and $36.2 million, respectively. That's a hefty price tag, especially for a player who will turn 31 this season. But here's the good news: the Raiders have been stockpiling compensatory picks, and they've shown they can offset some of the trade costs. According to Spotrac, the first-year cap hit for Ramsey could be as low as $5.9 million, which is tempting. Still, the long-term financial commitment is something the new management team will have to weigh carefully. Now, why are these names so important? Because the Raiders are in a unique position. They've made several smart moves to rebuild their roster, but to truly take the next step, they need to solidify their secondary and make a statement in the AFC West. The division is stacked. Kansas City remains a powerhouse with Patrick Mahomes and that high-octane offense. The Chargers are always competitive with their talented roster, and the Denver Broncos are on the rise with a new quarterback and a revamped defense. So, every addition, especially at cornerback, could be the difference between a playoff appearance and missing out. In addition to free agency, the Raiders' draft strategy will also play a critical role. With some of those compensatory picks, they might look to draft a high-upside corner or safety to develop behind their veterans. But the immediate impact, the veteran leadership, will come from these free agents. Bringing in a Gilmore, Hilton, or Ramsey could instantly upgrade their pass defense, which last season struggled at times against top-tier quarterbacks. Let us also not forget the importance of leadership in the locker room. Veterans like Gilmore and Ramsey bring more than just skills. They bring attitude, professionalism, and a winning mentality. That's exactly what a team like the Raiders needs to take that next step and finally return to the playoffs consistently. The young players will learn from them, and their presence alone can elevate the entire defense. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the Raiders' offseason has been about building a competitive, versatile roster. They've addressed offensive line needs, added depth at wide receiver, and now they're zeroing in on their defense. The cornerback position, which has been a question mark for a while, is the priority. The potential acquisition of a veteran like Gilmore in free agency or a trade for Ramsey could be the move that shifts the division in their favor. It's about creating a defense that can hold up against the high-powered defenses in the AFC, and more importantly, giving their young secondary the mentorship and confidence they need to succeed. Now, I want to talk a little about the upcoming season. The Raiders are projected to be in the thick of the playoff hunt, with a solid defense, especially if they manage to bring in a game-changing corner. They could finally balance out their explosive offense led by the likes of Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs, and Davante Adams. The offensive line is looking better, and the additions they've made in the offseason are promising. But as we all know, defense wins championships, and that's why these cornerback targets are so crucial. The AFC West is more competitive than ever. The Chiefs still have Mahomes, the Chargers have a talented roster, and the Broncos are on the rise. So every move counts. The Raiders' front office seems to understand that, which is why they're exploring all options to bolster their secondary. Whether it's re-signing Gilmore, making a splash for Hilton, or gambling on Ramsey's trade, they're clearly committed to building a defense that can hold up against the best. And let us not forget, the Raiders' fan base is among the most passionate in the league. The energy and support at Allegiant Stadium are incredible, and the team's success this season could reignite that passion even more. The moves they make in the coming weeks could be the difference between a season of hope and one of true contention. So stay tuned, because this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent Raiders history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Las Vegas Raiders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Now, wrapping things up, it's clear that the Raiders are not sitting still. They're making bold moves, exploring all avenues to assemble a roster capable of competing at the highest level. The secondary, especially the cornerback position, is a prime focus, and the potential additions of veterans like Stephon Gilmore, Mike Hilton, and possibly even Jalen Ramsey could be the missing pieces to their championship puzzle. Fans should be excited because, if these moves come to fruition, the Raiders could be a serious contender in the AFC, and perhaps finally break through and make some real noise. The future is bright for Las Vegas Raiders fans. The team is building something special, something that could see them back in the playoff spotlight and competing for Super Bowls. The strategy is clear: bring in experienced leaders, add talented young players, and create a defense that can stand toe-to-toe with the best. It's an exciting time to be a Raiders fan, and I can't wait to see how everything unfolds in the coming weeks and months. And now, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on these potential moves? Do you think the Raiders should go all in for Ramsey or Gilmore? Or maybe you believe there's another gem out there that the team should target? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Raiders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the passion alive.